If you're tired of fake smiles and plastic cities, come to Serbia, where emotions are raw, words are real, and beauty has depth. The morning mist drifts lazily over the Danube as the first light touches the bridges of Belgrade. A man stirs his coffee slowly at a sidewalk cafe, cigarette smoke curling into the cold air. Across the street, an old lady sells homemade rakia from glass bottles, her laughter cutting through the quiet like a memory of a simpler time. Somewhere down the block, a trumpet hums not from a stage, but from a passerby carrying yesterday's melody into today. This is not a country that tries to impress you. Serbia doesn't perform, it simply is. The cracks in its walls tell stories, the faces on the street carry the weight of history, and yet there's warmth in the air, a sense that no matter how many empires have come and gone, life here keeps finding its rhythm. At the heart of the Balkans, this landlocked nation holds stories carved in stone faces, marked by strength and a rhythm that never rushes. The pace is slower, the smiles are earned, and every corner feels like a conversation between the past and the present. You don't just see Serbia, you feel it. In the echo of church bells, in the clinking of coffee cups, in the way strangers greet you with honesty instead of politeness. Because here, beauty isn't about perfection, it's about presence. Part 1. The people and the beauty of strength. In Serbia, beauty doesn't shout, it whispers. Women here carry a quiet confidence, the kind that doesn't need an audience. Tall, graceful, and self-assured, they walk through the boulevards of Belgrade, with poise, their coats flowing in the wind, their eyes deep and calm like the Danube itself. There's something timeless about them, the way they balance elegance with strength, intellect with warmth. You'll see young women lecturing at universities by day, running startups or yoga studios by night, and still finding time to meet friends for coffee without rushing a single moment. This is the new face of Serbia's womanhood, educated, ambitious, and unafraid to stand tall. In recent years, female leaders have taken roles once reserved for men, managing tech companies, coaching national sports teams, even leading city councils. But what sets them apart is not rebellion, it's composure. Their feminism is quiet but firm, a calm fire that changes things without shouting. They don't compete with men. They coexist, building a society where equality feels natural, not forced. And the men, they are the other side of the same coin. Broad-shouldered, sometimes rough around the edges, but with an unspoken gentleness. They open doors not out of dominance, but out of habit, a small gesture of respect passed down through generations. They argue passionately over football, curse politics over rakija, yet soften instantly at the sight of a child or an elderly neighbor. Beneath the toughness lies a rare loyalty, a kind of old-world sincerity that modern cities have almost forgotten. The youth, meanwhile, live between two worlds. In the morning, they line up for cappuccinos in Italian-style cafés. At night, they dance to German techno under neon lights. Yet on Sunday mornings, they still visit their grandmother's house for homemade burek and folk songs playing from an old radio. Serbia's new generation may scroll on TikTok and dream in English, but their hearts still beat to a Balkan rhythm, proud, passionate, and real. Here, strength wears many faces, a woman walking alone at midnight without fear. A man fixing his neighbor's car after work, a student teaching English online to save for travel. It's not glamour, it's resilience. The kind of beauty that doesn't ask for attention, but commands it quietly. Part 2. Architecture and the breath of time. Serbia is often called a museum without walls, a living gallery where every corner tells a different story. The architecture here isn't about perfection. It's about memory. Ottoman arches curve beside Austro-Hungarian balconies. Orthodox church domes rise between concrete apartment blocks built during the socialist era. Time hasn't erased these layers, it has stacked them one on top of another, like pages in a book no one has finished writing. In Belgrade, chaos becomes character. It's a city that refuses to be symmetrical, where a crumbling facade might stand shoulder to shoulder with a gleaming glass tower, and somehow it works. Walk through Dorchol or Savamala, and you'll feel it, the clash, the coexistence, the pulse. Old men play chess in front of communist-era buildings, while digital billboards glow behind them. On Knez Mihailova Street, performers play violin under ornate 19th-century balconies, their music drifting past graffiti-covered walls that speak the language of the new generation. Then there's the Belgrade waterfront, a sleek modern development along the Sava River, all polished glass luxury apartments and shopping promenades. To some, it's the future. To others, it's an intrusion, a glittering symbol of how quickly money can rewrite a skyline. Locals debate it endlessly over coffee. Do we need to look rich to feel modern? But that's the paradox of Serbia, a country rebuilding itself without wanting to lose its soul. A few hours north, Novi Sad offers a softer rhythm. The pastel facades of Liberty Square glow under the late afternoon sun. Churches with spires and clock towers rise above tiled rooftops, their bells mixing with the laughter from open-air cafés. The city feels almost like a watercolor painting, gentle, balanced, quietly European. Yet even here, history whispers from every corner, from Petrovaradin Fortress, watching over the Danube, to narrow alleys paved with centuries of footsteps. What makes Serbian architecture special isn't its preservation, it's its persistence. These buildings aren't frozen relics, they're still alive. People hang laundry from brutalist balconies, drink wine under Art Nouveau windows, and pray in churches that have stood through empires. Serbia's beauty isn't something you look at from behind a rope, it's something you walk through, breathe in, and live inside. It's imperfect, inconsistent, and endlessly human, just like the people who call it home. Part 3. Daily Life and Social Reality. Life in Serbia moves at a pace that feels human. Education here is strong, almost everyone you meet has a degree, speaks multiple languages and dreams beyond borders. Yet the reality is humbling. The average salary hovers around $600 to $800 a month, and even skilled professionals often juggle 2 or 3 jobs just to stay afloat. Still, there's a strange pride in making things work, with less a quiet art of resilience that seems woven into the Serbian DNA. In a small apartment in Novi Sad, a 27-year-old programmer named Marko works remotely for a tech company in California. His English is flawless, his laptop brand new, his Wi-Fi surprisingly fast. He smiles and says, "We don't escape Serbia, we export our talent." Like many young Serbians, he doesn't want to abandon his country. He just wants to live by his own terms, free from the slow grind of bureaucracy. Because bureaucracy here can test anyone's patience. Locals call it paper corruption, the unspoken rule that things move faster if you bring a coffee to the right desk. It's rarely about greed, more about habit, a tired echo of old systems that never fully disappeared. People roll their eyes, crack jokes, and keep going. In Serbia, humor isn't just entertainment, it's survival. You laugh because if you don't, you'll lose hope. But beneath the cynicism lies community, a kind of warmth that big, efficient countries often lose. In a Belgrade neighborhood, neighbors still exchange homemade rakia, share vegetables from their gardens, or help each other patch up leaky roofs. When someone gets sick, the whole building seems to know, and soup arrives at their door without being asked. Life here might lack luxury, but it's rich in something harder to buy: connection. At dusk, people gather outside small kiosks, sipping beer or coffee, talking about everything from football to philosophy. Children play between parked cars, grandparents gossip on benches, and the sound of laughter echoes through narrow courtyards. Yes, money is scarce, politics are messy, and the future uncertain, but there's dignity in how Serbians live. They might not have much, but they have each other. And somehow, that's enough. Part 4. Lifestyle, Cuisine, and Tradition. In Serbia, food isn't just nourishment, it's a celebration. Every meal feels like a reunion, even on an ordinary Tuesday. Tables overflow with cevapi, tiny grilled sausages wrapped in soft flatbread, sarma cabbage leaves stuffed with rice and meat, ajvar, the smoky red pepper spread that every grandmother swears hers is the best, and of course, the king of breakfasts, burek, a golden spiral of flaky pastry dripping with cheese or meat. Meals here are loud, warm, and slow. No one checks their phone. The clinking of forks and the laughter between courses mean more than the food itself. And then there are the kafanas, those timeless taverns where the heart of Serbia beats loudest. Inside, the air is thick with cigarette smoke and music. An old man strums a tambura in the corner. Voices rise together in song from students to pensioners, strangers to lovers. It's impossible to sit in silence. Someone will always pull you into the chorus, pour you a shot of rakija, and toast ziveli. To life. In a kafana, time doesn't move, it melts. You might come for dinner and leave after sunrise, not because you planned to, but because joy kept you hostage. Once a year, that same spirit explodes into the open air at the Guka Trumpet Festival, the wildest celebration in the Balkans. Imagine a small mountain town transformed into a sea of brass and rhythm trumpets, blaring drums, thundering, and people dancing in the streets until their feet ache. It's not a show, it's a release. Farmers, musicians, travelers all become one heartbeat. The sound of Guka isn't polished. It's raw, alive, intoxicating, the true sound of the Balkan soul. But Serbia isn't only about the past. Just a few hours north, Exit Festival in Novi Sad proves that tradition and modernity can dance together. Inside the Petrovaradin fortress, under the summer stars, tens of thousands of young people move to the pulse of electronic beats. Laser lights cut through the night as DJ from around the world play inside 18th century walls that once guarded the empire. It's a surreal fusion history, vibrating with youth, stone breathing with sound. From the kafana to the festival stage, Serbia's rhythm remains the same, passionate, free, and full of soul. Here, music isn't entertainment, it's identity. It connects generations, bridges contradictions, and reminds everyone that no matter how hard life gets, there's always a reason to raise a glass, sing a song, and keep dancing. Part 5. Nature and the slow rhythm of life. Beyond the cities, Serbia softens. The land stretches wide and quiet from the flat plains of Vojvodina in the north to the deep forests and misty peaks of Tara Mountain in the south. At dawn, smoke rises gently from village chimneys, mixing with the morning fog that rolls down from the hills. The air smells of pine and wet earth. Somewhere, a rooster crows, a dog barks, and a river hums against the rocks. This is not a land of loud beauty, it's beauty that whispers. In Vojvodina, the fields seem endless, golden waves of wheat and sunflowers swaying under a slow-moving sky. Farmhouses with red-tiled roofs sit quietly among birch-lined roads. Life here hasn't changed much in decades. Farmers greet each other with a nod, share tools, and still believe that good weather is a blessing, not a right. There's a kind of peace that doesn't need explanation, just the rhythm of land and time breathing together. Further south, the world rises. Tara National Park is a realm of emerald forests and blue horizons, a place where silence feels alive. The Uvak Canyon winds through limestone cliffs like a silver ribbon carving hypnotic curves that look unreal from above. Here lives one of Europe's rarest birds, the griffon vulture. With a wingspan wider than a man, is tall, it glides effortlessly between cliffs, a living relic of a wilder world. Standing at the canyon's edge, you don't speak, you simply watch, humbled by how small you are, in the face of such quiet grandeur. Not far away, tucked in the western mountains, lies Drvengrad, the wooden village built by filmmaker Emir Kusturica. Wooden houses with steep roofs line cobblestone paths. The scent of fresh bread drifts from a bakery. Jazz and folk music echo softly from an old record player in the square. What began as a film set has become a living symbol of Serbia's soul, a place where art, nostalgia, and daily life merge into one. It's cinematic, yet real, curated, yet deeply human. More and more young Serbians are returning to these mountain villages, opening eco-lodges and homestays, blending tradition with new purpose. They plant herbs, raise goats, welcome travelers, and share stories by the fire under star-heavy skies. For them, slow living isn't a retreat, it's a return. Travelers often say, "You come here for the views, but you stay for the silence." And it's true. The stillness of Serbia doesn't demand your attention, it holds it. In the whisper of trees, the shimmer of river water, and the gentle breath of wind, you find something rare, peace that doesn't need permission. Serbia isn't a country you visit for monuments, it's a place that teaches you stillness, strength, and sincerity. When the sun sets over the Danube, the light melts into gold, reflecting off the quiet water like liquid warmth. Along the riverbank, an old couple sits side by side outside a tiny cafe. They don't speak much, they don't need to. The sound of an accordion drifts from somewhere nearby, soft and nostalgic, blending with the hum of evening conversation and the scent of roasted chestnuts in the air. It's the kind of moment that asks for nothing, yet gives you everything. In Serbia, time doesn't chase you. It sits beside you. It waits while you finish your coffee, while you listen to the wind, while you remember how it feels to just be. And maybe that's the lesson this land offers, that beauty isn't found in perfection, but in presence. In the way the world slows down just enough for you to notice the faces, the sounds, the light, the laughter. Serbia doesn't demand your admiration. It earns your affection quietly, deeply, honestly. So if you've ever walked these streets or dream of coming here one day, tell us in the comments below. Which moment would you want to feel: the sunrise in Tara, the music in Gucha, or the sunset over the Danube? And if this journey touched something in you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this story with someone who needs a little peace today. Because sometimes the calmest places hide the loudest truths, and Serbia is one of them.